Hi, Caroline here. Let's just get straight to the point of this video, and that is you are enough. You are enough right now, right here, the way that you are. You don't have to make modifications or improvements. You don't have to change things. It doesn't matter what you've done or what you haven't done, or who you are or what is missing in your life. You are enough. I was thinking about this the other day. In fact, I got really irritated when I started thinking about this the other day because I caught myself sitting there. I was finishing up work. Well, I needed to finish up work because I was tired. I was exhausted. It had been a long day. I'd been up since 4:30 in the morning because I get my daughter up, get her lunch ready, get her breakfast ready, help her with getting off to school, get my other kids up, get the whole process over again. I had worked all day long. I was exhausted, but I'm looking at this huge stack of things that I have to do. And things that I hadn't even gotten to, and I didn't even get to half. I didn't even get to half of the things that I had wanted to do that day. And so I'm starting to think I'm not enough. I did it again. I have spent all day doing what? And here I am not getting done what I needed to get done. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make my goals happen. I'm not going to meet my deadline. Not going to be able to move on with the things that I'm working on right now. And all of this negative stuff just keeps piling in on me and causing me to just feel so frustrated and causing me to feel like I just want to crawl back into that space of not feeling like I'm enough. But the good thing is that I've done a lot of work on this. I have done a ton of work on this. I have worked to get rid of these negative thoughts. I have worked to change the belief that I'm not enough. And that kicked in right at that moment. That kicked in. And when it kicked in, an amazing thing happened. I got really mad. I got really mad because I thought to myself, how is it possible? How is it possible that at that point in that time, or at any time in my life, or at any time in the life of anybody else, that we could possibly think that we are not enough? Because, the fact is that we do a lot. We bust our butts constantly, and we are enough. Which made me think of a video that I had seen years ago. It was a movie, and I had to look it up. It's called Mom's Night Out. And in Mom's Night Out, there is a certain scene. I don't really remember very much about the movie, except for it's this crazy misadventure of, moms trying to have a break and go out and enjoy themselves and all the things that happen while they're gone. And anyway, this scene, she finds herself, I think they're in a prison. She's sitting there. She's talking to this kind of rough guy. And she tells him, it just seems like no matter what I do, it's not enough. And he stops her and he asks her this question. He just looks at her and he says, for who? And that question just went straight through me. That question went straight through me. And the video makes that point very clear. For who? Who are we holding ourselves up against that we're not thinking that we're not enough? Who are we judging ourselves against? Who are we comparing ourselves to make us feel like we're not good enough, that we haven't done enough, that we're not making the mark? What is this measuring stick that we're beating ourselves with, that we are holding ourselves accountable to make us feel like we're not good enough? And the answer is very clearly, it's us. It's us. It's ourselves. We are the ones who are putting that kind of pressure on ourselves, and it's got to stop. It's got to stop. Because I'll tell you what, as I was sitting there that night, I was thinking of all the things, and I just mentioned a couple of them, getting up at 4:30 and taking care of my kids and working all day long. And, just listing off all of the different things that I do in any given day. How can that possibly not be enough? I'm a parent. If you're a parent, you understand what I'm talking about. Just keeping these people alive is enough. It's a lot of work to keep them fed, to keep them healthy, to keep them loved and taken care of. It is so much effort and so much work goes into that. We bust our butts being everything for these kids. We are their emotional support and their cheerleaders. As a parent, we wear so many hats. We wear so many hats. If we got paid for each different job that we that we did, I used to think this as a teacher. If I got paid for every single job that I did here, I would be making a lot of money, right? Because as a teacher, I was like a therapist, or I was a nurse. I was like an office manager or a life manager. I was a shoulder to cry on. I was a cheerleader. As a parent, I'm a taxi driver. So many roles that I perform during the day. Whether you're a parent or you're not a parent, you have so many things that you're doing in the day. And we have to give ourselves credit for that. We have to give ourselves credit for that and stop comparing ourselves to somebody else. Well, where does this comparison come from? Where does it come from? Why do we think that we're not enough? Well, I'll tell you what, I think that a lot of it comes from social media. I think a lot of it comes from, we have it up in our face constantly. It's always been there when there was TV, right? We would watch a show or we would read a magazine and we would compare ourselves and not feel great. Well, now it's worse than that. It's in our hand. It's in our phone. Every time we open it up, there's social media staring us in the face, where somebody's going on an awesome vacation, or they have this new car, or they have this accomplishment that their kid has made. And all of these things that people are putting on their best selves when they're putting things on social media, and they should, because I've had a couple of times friends who have put on not their best self, and you're like thinking, TMI, is way too much information. We don't want to know, because we want to know the good stuff. We want to know the good stuff, and we want to support each other through the good stuff. But then when we see the good stuff, we compare ourselves against the good stuff, and we think, well, I don't have that. That's not going very well in my family. That's not happening for me, so I must not be good enough. No, that is not true. It is not true. What we're not seeing on social media is all of the stuff in the background that has created this successful event, right? We haven't seen, if it's a perfect family picture, we didn't see the kids fighting beforehand, or the argument that took place beforehand, or whatever happened. We don't know. We're just seeing the final product. We're just seeing a small glimpse in time. And it's time to stop comparing ourselves to that. I remember there was a long time ago that somebody told me that when we compare ourselves to other people, it's kind of like us comparing our backyard to somebody else's front yard. And I was kind of grew up in a redneck family. And so I don't know, maybe the front yard was just as bad as the backyard. But, that image kind of stuck in my head, like what we put out in front of people, what we put out there for everybody else is, of course, hopefully our best, right? So, but behind the scenes, behind everything, everybody's got stuff. We've all got stuff. So we have to stop that comparison. So how do we stop that comparison? How do we stop beating ourselves up? How do we stop feeling like we're not enough? Well, I think this is what's helped me. I've done a lot of work and a lot of emotional digging in. I've done a couple of things, and these are some things that I'd like to pass on to you. One of them is that I have done mindset work, where I have dug in and I have worked on certain techniques and used certain ways to really get in to discover what the belief is and to attack that belief and change it around into something different. I have videos on that, what I've done to work on that mindset. You are welcome to check them out. I'll put links in below and at the end of this video. But the first thing that you can do, and it's a really quick fix, is you can look at yourself in the mirror right now, right now. And you can just stop comparing and look at the person in front of you. And you can give yourself a hug and you can say, you're enough. Look at what you have done today. Look at what you did today. Look at how you contributed to the lives of other people today. Look at the efforts that you put forward today, and start listing it out. Start listing all of the things that you have accomplished in that day or in that week or in that month or in that year. And you know what? If today is a really, really crappy day and you're not feeling it, and maybe you couldn't get yourself out of bed, and the only thing that you could do was roll over and scroll on your phone, because that's all of the strength that you had, because you couldn't stand the thought of just doing one more thing, that's okay. It's enough. There will be other days where you are able to give more, where you are able to do more. And maybe you just need a break. Maybe you have been worn down with so much that you are doing that you just need a break, and it's okay. It's okay. No matter where you are, no matter what you've accomplished, no matter what you haven't accomplished, no matter how much you have in your bank account or how you look, no matter the mistakes you've made, no matter what, you are enough. You're good enough. And I'll tell you why. More than any of the things that I've already talked about, more than any of the effort that you have put in, more than any of the accomplishments that you have made, more than any of the contributions that you have made to the happiness and the well-being in other people's lives, the fact remains that you're enough just simply because you're human and because you're a child of God. He loves you. He wants the best for you. That's what you're meant to have. So give yourself a break. Give yourself a hug. You are enough. Please subscribe. Please give a like. Please leave a comment, because that helps boost this video so that it will go out to more people. Share it to other people that you know that need to hear this, that need to hear that their efforts matter, that need to hear that what they are doing and who they are and being themselves is enough. Take care, and I'll see you soon.